Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about lead generation secrets, especially for you small businesses that may not have the budget to hire a marketing team yet. Now, depending on your area, these can be more fruitful than others. So sometimes you need to try things to get them to find out what works best for you and your business. These aren't like everything. Okay, there are too many ways of going about it, but these tips, these generation ways are going to help you move forward. It isn't going to be the end all be all of everything. It takes work on your part. It isn't just something that you can set and forget, generally speaking. Sometimes that's true. But we're going to dive into the nitty gritty of these things and give you the best way to be found and to find other people, because it takes both, right? It takes people that are willing to buy from you and you being able to them to find you and you to find them, right? There's inbound and outbound. It takes both things. So we're going to talk about these. We're going to go into some pretty fun details about them, and we're going to help you grow your business. And leads equal money, okay? And the right leads equal more money. In yesterday's video that got cut short, which we are going to be doing, we're going to do the makeup on that one next week. I already had all these planned out, so I'm going to go, that'll be part 2. So I'm going to go in and get that and revisit those topics. But this is kind of like a subset of those things that we talked about yesterday. So, if you're new here, my name is Taylor Darcy from Think Legal, where I help people and businesses thrive. I go live Monday through Friday at 11, exactly right now. So tune in live to get your questions answered, or if you just want to hang out, I'm cool with that. That's fine. Chat. It's kind of an opportunity to get access. I run a local business here in San Diego, California. I'm an attorney, in case you didn't know that, if you truly are new and you just found this video. So if you want to stop by, I'd be happy to meet you. I am here in San Diego. You can find my website in the banner, anywhere you want to do. Anyway, point is, join me. It'd be a lot of fun. So let's get started, shall we? All right, so this first tip, if you will, is, or secret, is to do your basic SEO, okay? There's a reason why I don't want you to spend a lot of time on basic SEO. And in case you don't know what SEO is, in case this is the first time you've ever heard of it, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, okay? You want to make your various ways of being found as easy to be found as possible. You want Google, you want Microsoft, you want all of the different search engines as a way to find you easily. So the easier you make it, the better, the more likely you will be able to be found. If someone puts your name in and can't find you, that could be a missed opportunity there, okay? Especially when they're searching for your direct name. If they don't have your website, say they met you and they're like, yeah, I remember they did a cookie thing, or they did a, I don't know, massage, whatever it is that you do. If you don't, if they're looking for you and they can't find you because you weren't following these practices, then that's a potential loss, because what'll happen is someone that is doing these things, they're going to be able to find quite easily, right? So the easier you make it for your potential customers and clients to find you, the better. These do not have to break the bank. These are not expensive. I'm not talking that some of them cost nothing, and some of them will cost you something depending on what you do with it. And we'll talk about those issues. So keep that in mind, is that the stuff that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to keep it as inexpensive as humanly possible for you. But at the same time, you need to dedicate some money of your budget to your marketing efforts. Now, there's a difference between advertising and marketing, okay? Advertising is a passive thing, like billboards and bus benches, things of that nature. Advertising is very passive. You put it up, you hope for phone calls. That's it. There isn't much intent based in that. Okay, so you really want to be careful on what your perception of it is. So that takes a different mindset. That's kind of the long game when you're dealing with any type of thing. Marketing, on the other hand, is how you are reaching your potential customers. Okay, so when I say do basic SEO, this is what I mean. If you are a local business, have you claimed your local Google My Business listing? Google has this for everybody. If you go on Google, you can find me right there. It's super duper easy. You'll see that I have 5 stars. You'll see that I have reviews. You'll see that I have lots of stuff. So you need to spend an afternoon. Like it won't take you long. It's not going to be a crazy process. Your afternoon getting your Google My Business profile set up. Here's a caveat to Google My Business. You do have to have a local address for the most part. They don't like virtual, unfortunately. So if you're an online only business, this won't work for you. And I apologize. That's not me. That's Google. That's not my fault. I can't help Google. They certainly win a lot. So they want a local address for you to put in. And I don't recommend putting in your home address. Like, just for obvious reasons, you don't want people accidentally showing up at your house. That would be bad. So you want to claim that Google My Business listing. It doesn't take long. It is not something that you want to do. With that Google My Business listing, you want to take pictures of everything. If you go to my Google My Business, you will see there are pictures of my office. You will see there are pictures inside, outside, of my signage, my logo, my everything, so that people can find me, right? So that they can see what it is. Google likes you to fill out that profile as full as possible. So take a few minutes. Like I said, you can do this in an afternoon, or you can split it up. It doesn't have to be much. You're going to fill in all of your different details. You're going to fill in your phone number, your website, all of these different things that it's going to ask for. And then that's it. Then after you've got customers coming in, then you're going to want to get reviews from those customers. Reviews are social proof, is something that is so needed in today's world. Don't forget to subscribe. Thankfully, I hit the right button today. Anyway, that was a joke from yesterday. So you want to make sure that you're getting reviews from as many people as humanly possible. Sometimes it's going to be harder than others. Sometimes people are going to be resistant to leaving reviews, but it doesn't hurt to ask, and it doesn't hurt to follow up, right? The more reviews, the better, because you want to provide people with the decision-making factor that it takes for them to decide to buy from you, whether it be the product or the service that you're looking at. So take that time and ask every customer, every client. It doesn't matter who it is. And here's a little caveat. Don't worry about getting a negative review, okay? The more believable it is, the better. So a negative review is actually a good thing, and here's why. And I'm not suggesting to seek out negative reviews. This is not my point. But a negative review and the way that you respond to it can show customers or clients how you deal with problems or how you deal with somebody who isn't happy. Because inevitably, you can't please everybody all of the time, number one. And number two, how you address problems says substantially more about you than being perfect. People recognize you're human. People recognize that you're not okay. But when I go on websites and I see, or when I go, I'm looking for a new doctor right now. And when I see a doctor with 1.5 stars, 2 stars, and the doctor hasn't bothered to respond to it, and it's been over the course of several years, so it's not like they're new to anything, that makes me not want to work with them. And the same is true for any business that you have. So make sure that you're filling out that Google My Business profile as complete as possible. If you need help, there are places out there that will help you. I don't do that, but there are places that can help you with that. Next thing, basic SEO on your website. This, again, search engine optimization. We're not talking crazy here. We're talking about just getting your titles correct, your descriptive titles, making sure that they're easy to be found, make sure you have a good structure of your website. Google likes these things. You're going to want to have meta descriptions. Okay, meta descriptions are what Google reads to decide if a page is going to be relevant to them. So it's about keywords. That's an important part of it. It's also the frequency of those keywords. Google has gotten really good at detecting what's called keyword stuffing, when you stuff too many keywords in a website or a web page or a blog post or whatnot. So be careful with that. Don't go overboard. Don't say every other word the keyword that you're trying to rank for. Google, it'll actually hurt you more than it'll help you. The next one, and this one is kind of a bit of magic. Google works on like an authoritative process. Google wants the most relevant website to be displayed. So when someone's looking for a local business, it basically will pay attention to different directories, especially like Yelp, like all of the directories that you're thinking, well, why are these even existing? Or Google's all that we need. Google actually pays attention to those and will rank you higher if you are on more websites, directories, Yelp being one, let's see, Merchant Circle, City Search. And you can use, to get you onto these directories, it's a company I use, it's called Bright Local, and it will go through and it will add your business to each directory for you. It's not a crazy expensive price, doesn't have to cost you a lot, but it will add it so that you are being able to be found throughout the web. The more you rank in those things, or the more you rank in those websites, the more Google will rank you, okay? Now, there is a key to this. There is a small detail that you have to pay attention, and this is very important. In fact, wrong one. There we go. Make sure your what's called NAP or NAP is correct and the same on every directory. So what is NAP? Name, address, phone number. Okay. You want your name, address, and phone number to be the exact same everywhere. Okay. This isn't to be confused with call tracking, which we'll talk about when we get to PPC. Okay. But for the directories and your website, okay, you're going to want to have your NAP or your NAP the exact same. Same spelling, same address, same everything. Even if it's like, and it's got to be nitty gritty the same. When I say the same, I mean exactly the same. I'm not talking like, okay, in one website it says suite and it's spelled SUITE, and the other ones you do STE. Okay, they're not that smart. Okay, they need to be the exact same. So if it's suite in one, it needs to be suite in the other, SUITE, right? Or if it's STE, the shortened version of it, then it needs to be STE throughout that. Okay, everything, the comma, everything should be the same. There are some minor exceptions to that, but the general rule is it has to be identical to each other. Okay, so the next thing is, and this has still a little bit to do with SEO. When you're asking for reviews, ask them details about their experience with you so they don't just leave you 5 stars without putting anything. Ask them what you helped them with. Ask them details about why did they choose your firm or why did they choose your business, things of that nature. You want them to use natural language to discuss their experience with you. You don't want to try to pitch to the algorithm. Again, keyword stuffing, bad. Trying to get them to say things like are bad. Google can recognize when you're like trying too hard. Okay, so you've got to make it look natural. You've got to give them what they're looking for, and that's a good experience. All right, so that's your basic SEO. Okay, this isn't going to move the needle in your life or in your business all at once. It takes time for these things to work, and it takes time for them to process throughout the web and to give you any type of results. So don't think that if you start today and do all of these things, which this will not take a long time to do, okay, that you'll see an increase in traffic absolutely positively tomorrow, okay? Google takes a little bit of time. SEO takes a little bit of time. It can be anywhere between 3 and 6 months for these things to work, but they continue to work, okay? That's the goal of this. So once you're on that track, you're going to have a lot better scenario. All right. The next thing, and this comes back to like becoming an authority on something, and that's publish a blog. Okay. And again, if you're not going to publish a blog, don't publish a blog. You don't have to. There's nothing that says that you have to. But when people are searching for things on the web, if you're a local business and you have a blog post on that topic and it's relevant and Google sees it, it's going to recommend your website. Okay. And then it's your opportunity to do it. But if you're not going to keep up the blog, and I get how much time and effort it takes to keep up a blog, don't get me wrong, it can be difficult, then it's almost better not to have it, right? Be consistent and have consistent posts is substantially better than trying to do like a shotgun approach. So rather than posting, and I'm just using it for instance, rather than posting 8 articles in one day, if you're going to pre-write all of those articles, then pre-write them and then have them released over 8 weeks, okay? Google likes regularly updated content. Doesn't have to be every day. Doesn't have to be, I mean, heck, even once a month is better than nothing, okay? So pick a schedule and stick to it, right? Pick a manageable schedule to stick to it. If you have the funds and if you have the resources, hire someone outside to do it. Hire a copywriter. That's another way to go. That gets it done without it being on your plate to do. Don't know what your budget looks like, but if you have to do it yourself and it needs to be free, then do it yourself and set that schedule, 8 articles, 8 weeks, and then be writing throughout that 8 weeks so that you just keep ahead of it. And you're releasing an article every week. The next thing is guest posting on relevant websites. Reach out to people that are in complementary industries or complementary businesses to potentially blog on their website, to give them articles, the same thing too. And the reason why you're doing this, you're like, well, that doesn't help my website. Yes, it does. Because one of the things that Google looks at on authority is, or on website, is its authority. So the more backlinks you have coming into your website, so it's backlinking to your website, the higher authority it is. And it also depends on like where it's coming from. And I'll give you, for instance, if you're posting on someone's random website, that isn't as high of authority for a backlink as if you were posting on the New York Times, CNN, whatever other type of bigger website. Like if you're able to post an article on one of those websites that has a ton of authority as a backlink to your website, that will help your website rank better. Will it? Again, these are not things, I have to emphasize this, these are not things that will move the needle substantially all at once. These are things that will move the needle and improve your website over time, okay? The other benefit of guest posting is that it increases your authority as far as like branching out to other people and other places. So think about that it's not just about the backlink, it's also about that authority that goes with everything else. Next thing you're going to want to do is get active on social media. And don't sell. Like you notice that like when I'm doing videos on social media, yes, I mention my law firm, I mention about this, but at no point, almost no point do I talk about like I'm not offering you a product. And the reason why is because people get sold a lot and they get tired of it. And until they're ready to buy something, until they're looking to buy, they might have an idea about doing it, but it's not always as simple as saying, let's do it now, okay? Social media is an opportunity to connect with people, okay? It should not, and I emphasize, this one is so important. Social media should not be a place where you are constantly selling. I get this so many times. People will friend me and then pitch me the minute after, like they haven't even bought me dinner yet, so to speak, right? Like they're already pitching me and they know nothing about me. They know nothing about my business, what my needs are, what my wants are, and they start selling me on something. And I'm sure that works for some people, but it doesn't work for somebody who's busy, and it doesn't work for somebody that you're not really solving a problem. You're creating a problem. So be the problem solver, don't be the problem creator, okay? So when you're connecting with people on social media, This is about connection. This is about building your know, like, and trust. That's where the magic is. It isn't about selling people, okay? It's about providing value and providing them with the information they need so that you stay top of mind. When you stay top of mind, you win, right? Because when I think of someone, oh, that's right, I know so-and-so back in Florida, or, oh, that's right, I know so-and-so back wherever. And so by staying top of mind through social media, you're going to increase that know, like, and trust. Now, don't go crazy, okay? Posting 50 times a day is not advisable. You're going to annoy people, right? You want to strategically post, and you want to post things that are relevant. Post things that people care about, okay? Like, people will care if you post great, cute pictures of your cat or your dog or your fill in the blank occasionally. But if you're trying to offer them a local service that has substantial meaning, then an occasional cute pic is fine. Oh, here's our house dog, or here's our office dog, or whatever the heck it is. Those things are fine. What are not fine is the constant barrage, or on the other side of things, if you're constantly selling them. Come up with the content calendar. Come up with things like I've done with my pages and website, where I give you help, right? That's what I'm doing this whole entire time. So you have an opportunity to get to know me and become more familiar with what I do as an attorney, but also what I do with my businesses. So don't feel like that you have to sell all the time. Don't feel like that you can't sell, but selling should not be the focal point. It should be building relationships with your potential customers. Here's another little secret within that context. Go where your potential customers are. You're thinking to yourself, well, duh, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do this. They think, oh, I'm going to post on everywhere, which isn't necessarily, it's not that you shouldn't post everywhere, but look at it this way. If your demographic is 18 to 24, posting on LinkedIn for business stuff doesn't make a ton of sense. No, post occasionally. You never know what's going to happen there, but that shouldn't be your focus. But TikTok, maybe. The Facebook Shorts, YouTube Shorts, all of these different places are great to connect with your audience. Again, it's about connecting. It's about building relationships. It's not about selling. People don't go to social media to be sold. Now, there are ads, but that's not the same thing, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about just the relationship building that you're doing. Speaking of ads, that's our next thing. There are lots of opportunities for you to, when I was talking about marketing versus advertising, okay, now we're moving into marketing. And there are lots of different versions on this one. We're going to go through them briefly. This is high overview. This is not in depth. Okay. PPC, or pay-per-click. Okay. That's when an ad pops up based on a search algorithm and term, and you click on that ad and it takes you to a landing page or a website or some sort of advertisement for that person. Okay. So you can set up PPC fairly easily from Google Ads. The key on that one is negative keywords. And I won't go in ton, but you can research what negative keywords are. If you are a professional, LSAs, local service ads. These are, there's a vetting process that you have to go through. You have to have so many reviews. It's a lot more in detail. The leads cost more, but if done right, they can be high quality leads. Pay-per-click, they can be moderate high quality leads. It just depends on your ad copy as well as your ad itself. So keep that in mind. And they can vary all the way from a few pennies per lead, per click, all the way up to several, unfortunately, $100 per click. Like personal injury for attorneys is a very expensive pay-per-click thing. So the next thing is maps. One of the most underrated, talked about is, because Google makes most of its money on the high intention, which is the LSAs and the PPC. Those are the high intention ads. Maps is basic proximity. If someone's looking for an attorney or an ice cream shop in downtown PB, well, Maps is the place where, okay, they Google that near me, right? That's the goal. And your ad pops up. And that's another way to be found. Another one, and this one is an unheard of, not unheard of, but it's not as common. And people get annoyed by this, but it's true. YouTube ads, okay? YouTube's ads can be some of the least expensive ads that you can run. They can be anywhere between a penny and 5 cents per click or per run, depending on the run and the ad, and they have all the terms set up. So they're a great way to have an awareness. Are people going to contact you directly off of YouTube ads? Maybe, but that isn't the focus. The focus of a YouTube ad is awareness. People becoming aware of your brand to start building that relationship. Okay. These types of ads, PPC, LSAs, maps, are what are called high intent ads, high interest ads. Okay. So these are people that are actively searching for your business. These are the ones that are going to move that needle as quick as possible, but they cost. That's the downside to this. They are not free. They can cost pennies, and they can also be very expensive. It completely depends on the ad. So don't think that you have to break the bank, but consistency is the key on these. The more consistent you are with your marketing, and you should devote some of your income to your marketing. This is a mistake that I see constantly with people. They will market, and then stop. Market, and then stop. And then they wonder why their leads are like that, why they go up and down, up and down. It's because you only market when you need work, right? Well, there's ways of doing it that will increase that without killing your budget, right? Like having an average cost be lower, but over more time, rather than trying the all at once, okay? Because if you sink $1,000 into an ad, great, but that $1,000 may not net you what you're looking for in one shot. But if you do that over time, then you're going to see a gradual uptick and increase in those things. So consistency is key. You should be spending, when you're in growth mode, approximately 20% of your revenue. So that's gross, not net. 20% of your revenue on your marketing budget. Okay. Plan for it. Put that into your pricing. Make that part of your expense. Now, maybe you drop that down to 10% when you're bigger and have more, or you have too much work to do. I don't know. But you should be spending approximately, when you're trying to grow, 20% on your marketing budget. So that should take you some of that time to do. You should not think, oh, I've got to save this money for something else. No, that should be part of your budget. Okay. So those are your high intent, high interest ads, PPC, maps. YouTube is more of an awareness. I should have put this actually in your social media campaigns, which is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Okay, those are your awareness ads. Those are social media ads. People will buy from you, but it's more of an interest. It's more of an awareness, like to let them know that you exist. Okay, to give it. And there's ways of tailoring your thing to it. No pun intended there. So social media ads. Next, and this cannot be understated for a small business, you want to build a referral network. You want to have relationships with other professionals or other people that are in your industry, or even that are complementary to your industry. Depends on what you're looking to sell, what you're looking to do. Don't think that you have to pick something, like, for instance, personal injury attorneys, doctors, chiropractors, lots of different options there, right? And it doesn't have to be that. Like your vendors that you're working with, maybe they know people, right? So improving your referral network can only help you because, and here's the thing, oh, please, this one deserves this. Do not sell at networking events. Networking events are meant to get to know people, not sell, okay? And you might talk about your product or service or whatever it is that you're doing, but don't sell. Talk about anything. Find common interests. Remember when I said earlier about getting to know people or doing stuff is about is about building your know, like, and trust? The fastest way that you can destroy trust with another person is by selling them too quickly without knowing a darn thing about them or about what their needs are or what their business is about or what they're trying to do. Networking events are a great way to do it, but the whole purpose of a networking event is not to sell. It is to build relationships. That's it. Because, like, for instance, I've met people where I refer things to them all the time because I know them and I've had good experiences with them, and they don't sell me, okay? Because I'm not their ideal target. I'm not their ideal audience. And that's why yesterday's video is so important in that respect. You want to have your perfect client avatar and stick to that. All right. Build a network, okay? Virtually, whatever way is comfortable for you. There's lots of different ways of doing that. Number 8, and I'm just going to kind of list these because I think you know what they are, and COVID era being what it is, we all know what they are, but it's worth talking about. You can run an event, a webinar, helping educate people about what it is you sell, what it is you do. Don't sell in the beginning. Talk about it. There are lots of ways to structure it, provide value, provide information. Don't sell, not in the beginning. Provide value, and then sell at the end so that they see that you are trustworthy and you've built that relationship with them already. Conferences, it's another great way. Expos, heck, live streams right here. Why do you think I do these? I do these not only to help you, but also to get my name out there, to get people aware of what I do, right? So these types of events will help you, right? Build that know, like, and trust. The more you do that, the more people are going to want to do business with you. It's just how it is. All right, next thing. Email marketing is not dead. Has some of the best click-through rates, but you have to do it correctly. If you are constantly selling people, okay, and you're not off for providing value, it will turn them off. You will get lots of you'll get lots of unsubscribes at that point. Provide value, provide value, provide value, provide value. I think I have made that very, very clear. Sell occasionally, okay? Provide value, provide value, provide value. Sell occasionally, okay? Build your know, like, and trust through your email campaigns. I cannot emphasize this again. I'm going to go back to this. None of these things will move the needle like instantaneously. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes work. There is no moving the needle instantaneously. The pay-per-click is probably the closest to that, and even then, it's not going to move the needle instantly. It takes time because here's the thing. People have to be searching for you to find you, right? In those instances, okay? So email marketing, you can do newsletters, announcements, especially during COVID. What's going on in your industry, okay? Reaching out to your vendors, reaching out to clients. And then occasionally selling, offering a sale, okay? Okay. Oh, did you know we do this? Sign up now for this. Yes, those are acceptable. But the people that try to sell you every chance they get are a huge turnoff to most people, okay? But it's important to follow up regularly. It's important to be consistent. And that leads me to my next thing. Final. Yes, I know this has been a long one. This has been great. I'm so happy to have been able to share these things with you because I know that they will help you move your business forward. I know if you apply these principles that you will get way more leads and you will be able to build your business the way that it is. And here's the final one. Keep track of what's working. Let numbers guide you. Don't go with your gut. Numbers will tell you. When you can, we'll do what's called an A/B test. It's called a split test, okay? You take two things and you show them an alternating to each other, and then whichever one does better, that's the one you move to showing, and then you create a new one, and do the A/B test on that one. And then if that one starts showing better, then you do that with the B and you promote that to A. And then you keep doing this. And you keep doing this iterative process until you're maximizing your leads or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so A/B testing, keeping track of what's working, and continue to do more of it. Okay, and if it's not working, stop doing it. Okay, give it time to work. Right? Don't think, oh, it didn't work this week. Okay, I'm not going to do it next week. It takes time. This isn't something, again, you can do instantaneously. It's not something that you turn a spigot on and it flows water out instant and then you turn it off. That's not typically how most of these things work. The PPC is kind of the exception in that one, but even then, that takes money, right? If you don't have money to do PPC, then that's not going to work for you for a bit. Yeah, that's why I'm saying you need to devote about 20% of your budget in the beginning during growth phases in order to growth, to your PPC or to your marketing, and then scale that back based on the needs of your company, back to 10%, up to 20, that type of thing. But don't ever turn off the spigot entirely, okay? That will hurt you. All right. Consistency beats everything. Come up with the plan. Stick to it. Don't think that you can do a burst, like I said, 8 email or 8 blog posts in a day, and then that's what you do because that will help you. Okay, 8 blog posts over 8 weeks has substantially more value to Google and to your business than 8 blog posts all in one day, or fill in the blank, whatever it is you do. Having a smaller budget over time of something that gradually increases while won't net the crazy results is more sustainable, right? You can build better over time with sustainable results consistently when you do these things. Can you ramp up quickly? Yeah. I mean, maybe there's a month where you're really excited and there's a time to do 30% of your budget for marketing, like tax season, right? Like for a CPA, heck yeah, you're going to want to do your ramp up budget for that. You're going to want to do that in December and January and February, right? Because your peak time is going to be March, April, okay? So yeah, maybe during those months you spend 30% and the rest of the time you spend 10%, or maybe 15, you cut it in half. You know your industry better than I do. You do what's right for you for your budget. Okay, and this is it. This is the final one. And this is where the money is. This is like everything I've showed you up until now has so much, like this is magic. Okay, these are things that are going to move that needle, okay, a little bit at a time, and keep going, keep pushing forward. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do this. I know you can, but this is the magic right here. I want you to know this point is going to make you the most money of anything else that I've talked about. When you have a lead, so someone comes in or someone's interested in your product or service, this is it. This is your money, okay? If you've listened to nothing else, you've been here this long, great. If you've been here this long, this is the money. I can't emphasize this enough. This one will make you the most money of anything I've said, okay? You've paid in your time or money to get these leads, and so many people fail this next step. This is the money. You want to follow up with your lead until they die, buy, or unsubscribe. That's it. That's your magic. That's your magic right there, baby. So many people will spend lots of money on getting leads, but they won't spend the time and energy to follow up with those leads and then wonder why it didn't work. Okay. Follow up until they die, buy, or unsubscribe. Now, I'm not suggesting you have to annoy the heck out of people. I'm not suggesting that you follow up every day. Frequency does have some merit, okay? But follow up with people and follow up with the way that they are used to. Right now, text messaging is the way to do it. Email can be a part of that, but the good old-fashioned phone call is great too, if that's relevant to your market. If you don't follow up, all that money and time that you spent getting those leads is now wasted. Because only like 1 out of those 10 are going to buy in that moment. Okay? So keep these thoughts in mind. Now, if you need a way to follow up with people, and we talked about this yesterday, or in my video yesterday, a CRM. There's lots of them out there. We're not going to talk about those right now, but look into them. It's a customer relationship manager, and it will help you follow up with those people to make every lead count as much as possible. The most expensive part is client acquisition. What are you going to do with them after you get them? How are you going to help them? That's what it's about, following up. If you don't follow up, you've wasted all that time and money. So please don't do that. Don't spend all this effort, right? Effort, time, money, everything to get a lead and then ignore them. Oh, they'll contact me if they're interested. Maybe. Or they're busy with their life and they forget. And they would have contacted you had they not. And so you following up with them is going to be key to that. All right, that's it. That's the money. These are the lead generation secrets. These are the things that are going to help move that your business forward. Okay, these are things that have worked in my practice. These are things that I actively and do all of the time. Now, let me just caveat all of these things. In the beginning, you have a lot of time, but you don't have a lot of money. As you get bigger, you're going to have more money, but not as much time. That's just a fact. So eventually, what you want to do is find ways to offload this stuff from your plate so that you can run the company and not run these things. You're going to want to spend that money, some of that money that you're getting, to hire people to do things for you. VAs are a great way to do that, okay? Hiring marketing companies to do these things. In fact, on my podcast, we're going to be talking to some marketing companies, different owners of those marketing companies. And we're going to drill some of these things down from experts. They know more than I do, and with good reason, okay? I will bring them on and we will talk about these things to help you even more, because this is just the top. This is just what you need to know to get it started. There's so much more nuance to this than that. So don't feel like this is the answer to everything. This is your beginning. But again, in the beginning, you have more time. You have more time than money. As you get bigger, you'll have more money than time. Allocate your resources accordingly. Keep these thoughts in mind as you go forward. If you've gotten value out of this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and like. And know we go live Monday through Friday at 11 to help you grow your business or to help you thrive. Join me tomorrow. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye. Subscribe.